Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Hummel, the Tier 6 German SPG. This one's located on the westbourne of Studzianki, and it's under the command of Angelina75, and it's her first submission for this week. Unfortunately, it was before they corrected the replay sites, but we got the results. Angelina managed to screen print her results, so she won't lose out in the contest between her and Talon. And the first thing she's doing is exactly what I would do in a battle like this: knock down the camp at the centre of the cap area. I'd also try and destroy that house, because you can hide behind that house and that can protect you if you're capping. So it's usually worthwhile knocking that down. What Angelina's going to do though is she's going to shoot from this side of the berm. There's that ridgeline at the sides of the main field. It's a good place to fire from. You can't be seen by the enemy unless they get down to either side of the burn. In the north, which would mean coming in at E3, and from the south, you'd have to exit the village around about J3. Angelina fires in at the EPR, but unfortunately he's too quick and she misses out that shot. Now she's changing position just in case the enemy Arty was paying attention. She's got the stop gun, which is actually short range, but it's still very effective. As you can see here, she can hit that E25, who actually gets taken out instead by our EBR Hotchkiss. So she's going for the T-3485M, lining the shot up, working out where she's going to put it, and unfortunately that didn't work. In fact, she looked away just at the wrong moment. Okay, so there's two enemy tanks here. Got a Thunderbolt and the T-3485M. And the T-3485M died, but the Skoda also died, but she got a direct hit on the Thunderbolt for 210, right into his side. Now the standard reload time for this Arty is 25.31 with the stock gun. And Angelina's got it down to about just under 20 seconds, I think it is. There you go. Oh, it's 20.5 actually. And she's aiming towards the south because the T-29 was seen near the riverbed. There he is. She's dialing in. Rounds out. She gets a direct hit on the turret. It was a bit of a snapshot, but it was on target and it did hit the turret of the vehicle. Unfortunately, our T-52 is pulling back. He doesn't really want to go any closer to the T-29 because that guy could seriously hurt him. So yes, we're looking at that T-29 moving forwards. Angelina fires in. Oh, unfortunately it zips over the engine bay and explodes a little further away. And it means that Angelina might actually have to hide in that ditch there. If that T-29 gets too close, she won't be able to... she'll be kind of restricted as to where she can actually go. In fact, we don't know where the T-29 is now. So Angelina is running for the hedgerow at the back. She'll give us some cover. She's got some teammates here anyway to help. In fact, actually, Angelina's decided she's going to go much further north and up near the railway line. Very careful not to knock any trees down. It gives away your position that you're there. Yes, she's threading her way through those very nicely indeed. If you're not an Arty player, you'd normally knock a tree down by accident, not thinking anything of it, but of course it does make a big difference, because it can give away your position to an enemy Arty player if they happen to be looking in the right direction at the right time. Well, TVPT 50 BTU rather, T5051. That's the tier 10 one. No, this is a tier 10. No, tier 9. Surely no, it's not tier 9. What am I saying? It's a tier 8. Okay, so she managed to get a few hit points off him. 188. Over half the battlefield with that shot, right into the ditch area, well, the river area, I should say, river flows right through the center of the map. Okay, she can't get a shot in the IS because the building's protecting him. If he goes a little further back, we might be able to get a shot. Oh, now we can hit this guy. The SU-100M1 rounds out. I'm not sure she gave enough lead on that one. He was moving pretty quickly, and you have to sort of like count a second or so in distance before, so you can work out exactly where you can release the shell to get on target. Down to the south, the T-29's been heavily damaged, and he's gone into cover behind the berm, and now he's out the game. So that's good news. We're one up on the enemy, and Angelina's in a fairly good position to put shells onto that Scorpion G. And unfortunately, the only guy we got spotting up that end of the map just died, the Skoda T27. And Angelina's thinking about relocating there because that Scorpion could cut across and head this way. In fact, he is actually going up to the cops at the top of the map, which means Angelina's totally right to get across this side of the railway line to avoid him actually being able to take pot shots. Okay, accidentally knocked those two down, but she's... Yeah, the Scorpion is chasing. He's coming in. We do have a Cromwell nearby, and an MXM450-45. Now, she might want to try a few shots from here. The enemy just lost their VK-2801-105 down in the south. And the Cromwell's going to spot for us. There's the Scorpion. Oh! Well, that was pretty sudden. The Striv S1 got the Scorpion with a really good shot. And he did that right the way from the south, near the on the burn. Okay, now we got this TVP VTU dialing in. Rounds out. Looks good. It was exactly where the tank was last spotted, but it appeared he had moved, and I think he moved northwards, so I think he moved to the left, but I think he's... because he didn't knock the fence down, he didn't knock the telegraph pole down, but he is now retreating on his own side of the map, just outside our range. Ever since we've had the replay problems, Angelina's been having terrible difficulty trying to get a decent game. The enemy Hummel's been spotted, and he's now being probed by a Stier Waffenträger who was inserting his gun right up the guy's rear. I don't think he was very interested in the game, that Hummel. Unfortunately, we just lost that Stier Waffenträger because a box tank on the enemy team took him out. Now, Angelina's being cautious to move this far south, mainly because that SU-100 near the near the factory area. Go for the Hellcat. She fires the round in. Unfortunately, just she fires it in, the guy gets killed, so she doesn't get any benefit from that whatsoever. Yeah, she's worried about that SU-100M1 because the only tanks we've got covering our cap area is the Striv S1 and the Scorpion. Our assault team at the moment is moving quite rapidly towards the enemy area. They're going to come across that box tank very shortly. And if Angelina wants to get a shot... Oh, he's been spotted. Okay, so he is within range. And he goes down to the Cromwell. But we now can see the TVP VTU. Haven't got an easy shot though, because that's quite a tall building. Rounds out. It went where it was aimed, but unfortunately, it probably only splashed the TVP. Angelina's marking the ground next to the building. Hopefully that will tell her teammates that that's where she's going to pay attention, but she's been spotted. The SU-100M1 that she was worried about earlier just found her. Oh! And Angelina's got wiped out by the SU-100M1, who crept up on that side of the battlefield to avoid being spotted by the S1. And the S1's just finished him off. Took a bit of damage, but there's only one enemy left. It's the enemy Striv S1. He's a bit of a novice. We don't know where he is. Oh, we do now. He's just been spotted. And he's just killed our IS-2 shielded. Unfortunately, Angelina's not alive to actually help out now, because it's precisely the moment that Angelina does need to be used to actually stun that guy and possibly put him out of the game. Oh no, we're losing teammates like nobody's business. The Hellcat's just gone. So the Striv S1 got him as well. Now it's down to our Striv S1 and the Scorpion. And I don't think that Scorpion's been playing very hard during this game. He does have one kill, but he hasn't lost any hit points whatsoever. Now that could mean that he was very careful not to get spotted, or that he really hasn't been working hard, because he was sitting at the back of the map, right on the edge of the map, saving his hit points, waiting for the enemy to come into sight. And there's the Striv, and he's very low on hit points now. Oh, he just put one big hit into the Scorpion. Okay, we're in sniper mode, we're in siege mode, and he's just killed our Scorpion. Oh dear. That was the tier 7 American Scorpion, no armor. He just took a 105mm round from the Striv, and he's out the game. But we're in siege mode at the moment. Trouble is, I think that Striv is on the other side. The enemy is on the other side of the railway line embankment. Well, our Striv has decided to play it very cautiously, which is very strange, because he's got loads of hit points and the enemy Striv has got virtually none. One shot should take the enemy Striv out of the game. If it was a ding-dong fight between them, our Striv could take at least 2 hits and still be alive. And the enemy Striv, well, he'll only take 1 and he's out. He's just being too cautious. Thunder Bunny 77. I kind of have a feeling that the enemy Striv is going to be trying to move to a position where he's unspotted, and then he'll wait for our Striv to go into the cap area, and then he'll snipe at him from a distance. And that's the reason why you get rid of those buildings inside the cap on Studzianki, because if the enemy decides to cap on unspotted, those buildings act as cover. If he's still in the same spot, we will be very visible, but our sixth sense hasn't gone off, which means that the Striv has probably moved. We should have been spotted the moment we came over the embankment, and we weren't spotted. It's too late now to cap out. And he's capping at the other end, which is just giving away his position. Oh, what is our Striv doing? He has got enough time to get to our cap to put the other Striv out of the game, but instead he's wandering around like he's lost in the woods. Hansel and Gretel. I think he's given up. He said, I'm not going to risk it and go back there and kill that guy. Instead, I'm heading for the cap to get some cap points, some loser points, because it's going to end up as a draw. So Thunder Bunny is not the sort of person you want on your team. And now the enemies stop capping. Thunder Bunny could still lose this game. And if he carries on like this, he probably will. He hasn't been spotted yet by the enemy. 10 seconds to go. No, I don't think he can lose this one now, even if he tried, even unless the enemy ammo-racks him. What a pity. Well, here's the end of battle stats, and yes, I think you can see that unfortunately the replay problem was still in effect at the time. But let's have a look at the end of battle results. Well, Angelina managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in the game. It's only showing 3 actually, but she did get 5, or at least 5 in a row. And nothing else, I'm afraid, from that battle. If we look at the next, go one more. Yes, okay. We can see the highest damage in the game was actually done by the enemy Striv. He got 3,323 hit points of damage, so he appeared to actually know what he was doing. And he obviously did that because the moment he'd actually killed the Scorpion, he quickly dashed past our Striv, who was still hiding in a bush, and got to the other side of the map. And when he did get to the other side, decided to start capping to try and lure our Striv to come in and get killed. And yes, he managed to get 3,323 hit points of damage. Second highest scorer was the Striv on our team with 2,657. And the third highest damage in the game turned out to be the box tank with 2,324 hit points of damage. Angelina only managed to get 568. I think that's mainly because she had to keep on moving because flanks on her on this battle kept changing very rapidly. And if she didn't move, she would have been wiped out. Would have been wiped out by the T-29 if she'd stayed near the center where she was to start with. And so if she'd moved to the north and the Scorpion had not been taken out in the end by our Striv, then I think she probably would have been taken out by him instead. So Angelina, unfortunately, spent most of the time motoring around just to keep away from the enemy. We look at the number of kills. We can see the highest number of kills was the Striv on our team. Oh, sorry, the Striv on the enemy team, and then the Striv on our team. 5 kills to the enemy, 3 kills to ours, and then 2 kills went to the Tiger II, the Hellcat, the Cromwell, and the Steel Waffenträger. And on the enemy team, their box tank, their SU-100M1, which is the one that got Angelina in the end, the IS, and their Scorpion G. When it came to base XP, because it was a draw, neither side got the advantage, but the Striv S1 on the enemy did more damage and got more kills. He came out with 631, 586 went to the box tank on the enemy team, and 471 went to their SU-100. Actually, it's not them, it's the Striv, isn't it? Yes. He's in third place, the Striv on our team with 497. Although I don't think I'd want to be playing with Thunder Bunny or WW2 Chang on my team in future battles. It does look like they kind of organized this, but no, I don't think they did. I do honestly think that WW2 Chang actually did want to win this game, and he was hoping he might lure Thunder Bunny to come to his cap to try and get a reset, and in doing so, kill him and get a Top Gun out of it. He did get at least 2 medals, but unfortunately we don't know which ones they were. Probably the high caliber at the very least, I would think. Could be a tanker sniper on top of that. Let's have a look at the detail. Angelina fired 11 rounds, 2 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but she did get 5 splashes, damage of 568 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. She received 2 hits from the SU-100M1, and both of them penetrated and wiped her out. 3 enemy vehicles were damaged, none were killed, 36.11 seconds of stun assist, and she got 5 stuns, but she didn't get any stun assistance damage off it. On a premium count, she earned 14,481 credits from the battle, 55,000 for mission completion, 69,481 credits altogether. After repair and ammunition resupply, she actually took away 61,954 credits for the game and 6,948 for credit reserve. 326 XP for the battle, and that's all she took away. I understand that she actually rage quit after this game. She was so fed up with it. I don't blame her, actually. I really do. This is the 2 players involved at the end of the battle. You can see Thunder Bunny wasn't that experienced, actually, and I think that was showing. He doesn't have that many battles, only 409. He's bought himself a tier 8 premium tank destroyer, and he doesn't really know how to be effective in it yet. If we look at the second, this is the guy who actually did win the game. He has even less battles, only 285, and a very low win rate. If we see the previous one, that was quite a high. Well, it's not a high win rate. It's actually, it's not a high rating, actually. That's quite a low rating. But it seems that the guy on our team wasn't very experienced. The guy on the enemy team, even less experienced, with fewer battles. But he does have... no, he hasn't really got anything in his favour at all. I don't want to be stat shaming at all for anyone, but it does seem very weird that the two players who ended up right at the end of the game with Striv S1s are very poor players indeed. And you can see he's only got 47.43% victories. This guy, 38.6. Yes. Not the result we expected from those two players. You would have thought that the guy who actually did very well, got the high caliber and possibly a tanker sniper, would have actually had a much higher personal rating. But that's what the screenshots show. So, sadly, that was a draw. But I suppose we're lucky in the sense that it was a draw and not a loss. So, yes, I can understand Angelina's frustration at getting taken out by that SU-100M1, because she could have changed the battle. If she'd still been alive at the end, I'm pretty certain, or with the Striv S1, I'm pretty certain that she would have got the kill on that enemy Striv 1 and taken him out and won the game. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.